Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew, joining me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers of the market, what to watch for tomorrow, and more. Looking at a heat map here for the S&P 500, we could see tech had quite the interesting day, right? Microsoft was red, Google neutral, Meta neutral, Apple neutral, and NVDA was just shooting up today. I think at its peak, it was around 5%, which is pretty crazy. Tesla up 3%, continuing its bullish run. Financials are kind of choppy, pre-earnings. We got a bunch of financial institutions reporting earnings, including Wells Fargo on Thursday, I believe, but we'll be taking a look at that in a bit. Looking at SPY's chart here, you can see definitely a quite the bearish day, right? We had Jerome Powell start speaking at 10 a.m., but he didn't really start speaking until I think 10:15ish. Definitely was throwing out some candles there from some things he was saying, but nothing out of the ordinary, right? SPY definitely had a day, though. A lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. Kind of looks choppy, but, when we're having a fluctuation of over 0.2% in 30 minutes for SPY, I'd say that's pretty volatile. And if we take a look at the VIX here, we're at 12.5. Earlier today, we were pushing 12.6, so a little bit more volatile than normal, definitely. But yeah, like I said, nothing too out of the ordinary. Taking a look at Microsoft here, it was really weird. They downtrended most of the day, right? Pretty steep downtrend. So for the guy that entered puts in the morning, hats off to you if anyone did. But, not a whole lot in news that really supports this downtrend. But, just maybe a pullback to push higher, right? It's been pushing for quite some time now. So maybe a pullback is good for Microsoft here. We're back down to levels that we were at in the beginning of July, less than 3 days or literally 2 days ago. Pullback is pretty good because if we scroll out here, we can see this huge bull run that we've been having, right? It's been, just running up over 16% in just about a month. So pretty crazy statistics there for Microsoft and tech as a whole, right? Looking at NVIDIA, we can see that, it had quite the day today. If you just ignore my lines right here. But NVIDIA definitely had quite the day today. Like I said, right, if we look at the peak here, we could see that, we're definitely pushing some highs, right? And I think it's very possible that we'll see all-time highs from NVIDIA sooner than later. We're definitely in an uptrend right now, right? So maybe some NVIDIA longer-term calls would not be too bad of an idea here. We're only $10 away from that 141 area, and I think I'm pretty confident that we can break it, if not this week, next week, right? Even in the news, you can see analysts glimpse big upside ahead. So, and apparently we've got new price targets for NVIDIA. So definitely really good buy right now with NVIDIA. I would definitely be picking up some shares here or doing the safe option and what I mentioned in our ETF video and picking up some shares of SMH. When we called this out, this was at 250. We're sitting at 275 right now. So if you got a long-term account and you don't have SMH in there, I mean, what are you doing, right? Literally one of the best ETFs to invest in. The returns are just amazing. The risk really is not there. And, you're not really getting in at the top because I feel like the sky's the limit for the semiconductor industry. But taking a look now at some of our big money plays today, it's getting kind of interesting here with big money. Got some plays that I actually really like. We had QQQ calls. Strike of 510 expiring July 26th, 2024, 2.5 million premiums, 9,000 volume. Really like this play. I think if I'm going to hop in this, I'm going to go a little closer to the strike so I get a more favorable delta value. But QQQ is a great option as tech kind of pushes. This kind of just all ties in with NVIDIA. If NVIDIA is moving, QQQ is moving, okay? Remember this chart, all right? I want you to remember this chart. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and split the charts. So let's go ahead and put up NVIDIA here on the 30-minute and then QQQ. And as you can see, QQQ has definitely been slightly stronger than NVIDIA through NVIDIA's pullback, but it's definitely weighted by NVIDIA, okay? Pretty similar correlations here. I think the correlation's about like a 0.85 or something like that. So we've got pretty similar correlation here with QQQ and NVIDIA. So this big money investor is definitely just betting on semiconductors as a whole having a run. Speaking of semiconductors as a whole, I forgot to mention, AMD's just been firing recently, right? We pushed like 180 today, which is awesome for AMD. Really like that company. I got a AMD CPU in my PC, so big fan of AMD. But yeah, I mean, for QQQ, definitely have it at the upside. I really, really, really like that play, and I definitely think that one will work out. But looking at our next one, we're kind of switching up the sentiment here. CRWD, right? CrowdStrike Holdings. Let me go ahead and put this back on a single chart. So CRWD, CrowdStrike Holdings, right? They're a technology service. And I think they have to do with computing. I'm not 100% sure, but CrowdStrike Holdings here. We've got some 380 puts expiring July 19th, 2024. Okay. We got 1 million premiums here, 1K volume. So, could get interesting here for CrowdStrike. If we're on their 30-minute chart right now, we can see that they're kind of on a huge bull run up, right? This is all-time highs for them. So I guess this investor is just betting that they're going to come back down for a pullback here sooner or later. So, I can say that I really kind of like that play. That play is not too bad. It doesn't really seem like it correlates too heavily with, NVIDIA or whatever, even though it's in the technology industry. So, we could definitely see crowd have some bearishness come in there. Let's just keep an eye out for that and stay attent to these plays, especially that QQQ one. I really like that QQQ one. I'll be going over it the next few days. I'll remember to do that, but I definitely think that we're going to see QQQ push higher here. So once again, for earnings, right? Today before open, we had a penny stock. Fun fact, I actually invested in them when they were around 0.4 just as a joke. And good thing I took my profit and got out because they're at 0.2. But Nightscope just, I don't know, they make like robots or something. It was just like, I don't know, it was kind of stupid. But Tuesday, pretty boring. We had Powell speak today, right? Wednesday, we got no earnings. We got crude oil inventories and a little bit more on Wednesday. We'll be taking a look at our economic calendar for more information there. We got Pepsi reporting, Dallas Airlines reporting before open on Thursday. CPI is coming out, and then Friday is just the financial institution day, I guess. Yeah, but taking a look at our economic calendar now, we've got Powell testifying again tomorrow at 10. So, it was definitely a more boring day today just because, I had to wait till 10 after he was done with his whole spiel to trade. I really do not like trading through any of his speeches. I've been burnt by it before, and I learned the hard way. We've got crude oil inventories coming out, so that won't really affect SPY too much, but for all of you who might be trading any oil related, just keep an eye on that. 10-year note auctions coming out as well, so, keep an eye on this. I don't think this will really affect the market too much unless the number comes in insane, but yeah, then Thursday we have CPI, a lot of CPI on Thursday, core, year on year, month on month. So, keep an eye out for CPI. Then we got PPI on Friday. So pretty busy economic schedule this week, right? We got jobless claims coming out too. So CPI and PPI will definitely affect the market. I have no doubt about it. But initial jobless claims will only affect the market if it comes out like a crazy number. Like if the forecast is 236 and it comes in at like 180, definitely will affect the market, but I doubt it'll come out like that. So yeah, just stay attentive to all this because, this can easily burn a play, like a good setup, just because we have economic data releasing and people are just unaware of when it's releasing. So just keep an eye on that. Stay attentive to the market. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the trading table. This has been Andrew Landon, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at market close.